a lot of people might, look at one another, maybe be like, oh, this person's attractive, I find you attractive, get together, and there's no substance behind it. And that's why people are getting into relationships, breaking up and jumping on to the next.
I mean, it depends what they're after in the relationship, I think. It depends what they want, what they see like out of it. Some people just think of it as a temporary thing and just don't want to be alone in that emotional stance of being in the opposite gender.
I think you have to have a shared goal, right? And obviously if you have faith, that is the biggest shared goal. It's like we both are together, we love each other, but at the end of the day we're here for a finite number of years and we're working towards heaven or whatever it may be.
But like, as the older siblings, did you guys feel any pressure to behave? Because you guys were ever like, don't let your little brothers or little sisters see this, or you know what I mean?
Do you wanna take this one?
I've got to think about this one.
Yeah, okay.
Got to think.
So as the eldest sibling, I've had to watch my parents' parenting just, like soften.
No, yeah. People always say this to me. Oh,
wow.
For how old are you? 6 years? 15. Okay, yeah. So for us, when you were born, I was getting licks. You get me? When I was young,
actually, I can't.
We were getting licks.
Don't.
You and my sister. Oh my god!
Don't say oof to your mom.
Don't say oof. You've never even heard that term before, have you? Don't say oof.
I have. Die of a bad man.
Oh really?
Die of a bad man.
You haven't heard it said to you, so.
It's never been directed to you.
But yeah, I've had to see their parenting soften over the years, and initially it was kind of painful. It was kind of salty, innit? I was like, if I have to go through this, only fair I can spectate, someone else go through it. But then I matured and started caring more, and I didn't want to see you guys in trouble. That's maybe a stretch, but then I stopped caring, and eventually, I just
stopped caring. Right.
I stopped caring that I got harsher punishment than them. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry.
What did you think I meant?
You stopped caring about what your parents expected of you, and
oh no, I'm not talking about the expectations.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking about the harshness of the parenting.
Right.
I'm not saying that I was getting caned or nothing, but there was definitely a difference between what I went through and what you went through.
Yeah, I can't even argue with that.
Exactly. Yeah. But expectations is another thing as well. But I feel like.
Well, you're saying there were high expectations for you.
I'm not saying there were high expectations, but
as the first child, do you feel like there was more pressure?
More pressure.
I think there was definitely. I wouldn't say it's more pressure. I think it's a different type of pressure. So obviously, don't want to at parents or anything, but like. Parents go through their own journey, as parents. No one teaches you how to raise a child. Do you know what I mean? It's something you see, and you pick from the good things that you see. You try not to do the bad things, whatever. So we were like the first kids, experiment kids, experiment kids. You try some things go well, you keep doing them, so on and so forth. So I think obviously with my parents. Being new to the country and stuff like that, the expectations were very. There was a real cultural sort of stamp on the expectations. It was very much you're going to go to school, you're going to do well in school, you're going to get a job, blah 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 blah. But I think as you guys have, I'm sure you've come to realize, our parents are sort of more accepting of a different path. Do you know what I mean? And that comes as part of their journey and their development.
That's true.
So you've got to be conscious of that as well. Like
I think we forget sometimes.
I would hate for my parents to raise us all the same. Do you know what I mean? Because that just doesn't make sense. Your kids are different. The environment keeps changing. We spoke a bit about the Nokias versus the tablets, or reading versus having a tablet. You can't parent in the same way for your different kids. So it's about changing with the times. And being open and understanding, and I think that's what our parents have done. So Good job, parents.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
realise they're on a journey as well, innit?
Yeah,
they're
man.
also human beings like us. They'll make mistakes.
Yeah.
And, you know, because we were the first children, maybe they had to, as Mohammed said, experiment with us a bit more. And maybe with the education stuff, I might have been pushed a bit harder than you because I feel like at a young age, our mum realised that I may have been... I'm not to say that you don't have the talent for it, but I have the talent for education. So I was pushed from a very young age for a long time. And then after that, you know, maybe the energy has, you know, decreased a bit because they've gotten a bit older. And now with you and my sister as well, Aisha, I feel like I can almost step in to help you guys with your education and almost uplift that burden a bit. So yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, but like there's certain things that don't change.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that we can't do. There's no conversation. Like no, you're the older sibling. You can't do it. Do you know what I mean? Or if you do it, there's a certain conversation and there's a certain tone that you don't get with your younger siblings. You know,
true.
if I do something, all of a sudden it's like, you know, you're setting a bad example for your younger siblings. What are you doing? You're the older one. You should know better. So that doesn't change.
That's true.
And I think that's a good thing because it forces you to, I mean, you're being held accountable by others, but it also encourages you to develop holding yourself accountable as an individual. You know, if you do certain things, your parents might be like, shouldn't do that. What would your younger siblings think of it?
Yeah.
What have your experiences been as the younger siblings? Do you feel like we're treated a certain way? Because I seem to be getting really bad vibes right now.
I mean, not really. When I was younger, I thought things were unfair and stuff. I thought I was being...
Oh, you thought you had the bad end of the stick?
Yeah, I was like,
you know, this one, you know, you can speak up.
I thought I was getting treated like, I have to do the chores and stuff when I was younger.
Chores.
You?
Stuff like that. Yeah, no, I'm saying when I was younger. Hold on, when I was younger. Then as I grew older, I started to realise, so and so has to do more chores. So and so. Of course, now I've gotten to the age where I get sent to the shops the majority of the time.
Yep, you're at that age.
Yeah. I'm the person that gets sent to the
shop
shops.
sending age, yes.
But that's no problem. I guess it's just cultural.
It's your parents, isn't it? So they can send you to the shops when you're 50 years old. So
yeah, exactly. What do you want to say?
So yeah, you know the episode with our mums.
Yeah.
I was talking about how Mohammed, I feel like he was treated more leniently than I am. And you know, we talked. No, we talked about it, and I realized
we did talk about it. Yeah.
You actually do a lot, you know. I really because during that time, I forgot that you took care of the kids and stuff.
Really?
Because I think the 6 years that you took was like a gap from your life.
What 6 years?
To Gambia, so like you didn't really.
What's the gap, bro? I didn't miss life. I didn't miss living. But I know what you mean. Go on, carry on.
So like I felt like I was going shopping for too long. You know what I mean? For like years and years. Whereas maybe like 2-3 years until I was born or I was at an age where I was.
I mean, I don't blame you guys because obviously you're still developing as individuals, right? So you're gonna have a certain attitude towards little things like going to the shop or
it comes with maturity
and stuff like that. But with time you'll realize actually I was just doing my part for the family and it wasn't any more than this sibling or that sibling. You all do different things for the household, do you know what I mean? And at one point or another we were there what you were there, do you know what I mean?
In the toilet,
you weren't old
away from home.
You obviously weren't old enough to acknowledge it or even appreciate it. That's why we're pissed. But this whole shop phase, going to the shop. Listen, the things that I've been sent to the shop to get, big mad.
The times as well is crazy.
It's 10 o'clock and you want your cup of tea. I gotta go and get tea
milk
from the shop. It's 10 o'clock. I'm about to go to bed. There's things that you do, and you have to do because your parents at the end of the day they come number one. And when that pressure is lifted, call it pressure, it's not a bad thing, but once that influence is lifted, you start to really reminisce and appreciate those things that you used to do for your parents, etc. So once you guys move out or you go to uni, you'll start realizing, oh my god, I wish I had a different response when my dad asked me to do this or to do that, because now my dad doesn't ask me to do anything and I kind of don't have that relationship with them in that sort of way. That's what it is, really.
Yeah, when you're older, I feel like you're more inclined to want to do things for your parents, because then when you start to get a taste of responsibility, you realize what they've been doing for you all these years, and then you start to think of ways that you can, not pay them back because you can never pay them back, but help them or make them happy as much as possible. So yeah, when you start to earn, I feel like even now you might be feeling it, but that's something that definitely crosses your mind.
Yeah. What I would say is sort of going off of what you just said, Abdurrahman, really invest time into building good relationships with your parents, because at the end of the day, they were there for you. They raised you. We all know the spiel. I'm not going to repeat all of that. And one day, inshallah, we all want to look after them the way they looked after us, and it's inevitable. Everybody knows the steps that are there for us in life. So you want to be there for them, and you want them to trust you, and you don't want to sever ties over little stuff like you not wanting to put your controller down in pro clubs or foot champs or whatever. It's little things like that. I'd look at it, I'd be like, I used to get so pissed, so worked up when my man would be like, start to pray. It's 85 minutes. This is the one. It's online. What? It's online. You realize I can't pause it.
It's online.
I can't pause it. I need 3 points to get promoted to Division 1.
No, they start behind you.
And you know what? And that painful putting down the controller and seeing my man run with his players, get the ball off your player and walk into the goal. It's painful. But you realize all of that stuff it's trivial. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. What's more important is, that relationship with your parents, So yeah, definitely invest time and effort, because it takes time and effort to build a lasting relationship. It's not just about being around one another, just being around one another. You have to be active. You have to be present. You have to make an effort.
Yeah.
So once in a while, do something nice for your mum. Do something nice for your dad. Yeah. When you guys start earning, try and pay for a trip for them or whatever. Because life is short. Do you know what I mean? And you want to spend it with the people that matter the most to you.
Enough of the boring. Let's get into the nitty gritty, man. Let's get into the.
What have we been getting into with this time, man?
Let's get into the juicy stuff.
The juicy stuff.
I heard that in uni, that's where people find their soulmates. Is that true?
So what's soulmate?
Your soulmate.
I don't know about
that's
soulmate.
Such a cheesy. That's such
I
a
don't
cheesy
know
term.
about soulmate. You'll find girls there.
Some
people, I feel like
there's
only
everywhere,
a
man.
small. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's only a small proportion of people who go to uni to find love.
That's
it's something that might happen by accident. You can find love anywhere. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think anyone puts on their bag, puts on their shoes, and it's like, I'm going to uni to find love.
There's people there.
I'm going to catch me a sweet one today, like Dora the Explorer, just catching love. It's not like that. But like Abdurrahman said much earlier on, when we were talking about friends and, being in a classroom and stuff, you gravitate towards people with similar interests, and when you're around people for a very long time, you develop a relationship with people. Do you know what I mean? And so when you're at uni, you're meeting lots of different people, same gender, opposite gender, all types of gender. Let's not get into the gender. But yeah, you're meeting different people, and you have common interests with some people, you don't have interests with others, and you build relationships, and it's highly likely there is a chance.
Highly, would you say?
I think it depends what you do, but
there is a lasting relationship.
No, there is a chance, that you will find your soulmate.
The one. Mohammed sounds like he's found the one, fam. Found the one.
No, I haven't found the one.
Don't laugh at the cameras.
Nah, but Right, this pause is making me look like a fucking yo. I'm crumbling. Listen, no, I think, and look, there's nothing wrong with, obviously, like, keep it halal and stuff or whatever. But there is nothing wrong with, trying to find. A lot of people, I don't know about your circles, but a lot of people do find their soulmate or whatever from uni, or from what uni leads to, which is employment and stuff. So definitely don't sort of look down on it, because it is an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And if that's what you want, and the person is there that wants the same thing, then Go for it. That's what my dad would say.
Don't go there with a closed mind, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So like,
let's play our options.
when it comes to relationships, how do you guys feel like when uncles and aunties come up to you saying, you know, I've got someone else who's around your age.
Aunties,
Go and marry
uncles, stop it.
Yeah,
Just
allow
stop
it.
it, please.
Allow it, please.
Which camera supposed to look at? Stop it.
Both of
Yeah,
them.
respect yourself, please. I think I used to be.
You'd be like, yeah.
It's like
banter.
it's part of like, you know, self-development. Like back in the day, you'd hear things like girlfriend at like primary school. You'd be like, or like, you remember how like there was a phase where we were all allergic to girls. Like it was like, you got the lurgies, or, you know, don't touch me.
Oh no.
There is a period. There's a period in
Yeah.
life when you recognize that there is an attraction between you and the opposite gender because it's natural, but you fight against it because you're a child. You don't know what that means. You don't know what to do with it, right? And so back then, when the uncles would approach me, I'm not saying I was like 3 and they'd be offering me their daughters, but like 11, 12, you're still maturing. I would be very sort of against it. I'd be like, nah, like, no, all of that. You know that gut reaction? All of that. And now I just laugh it off, bruv. I'm like, big man, listen, your daughter's in, you know, wherever she is, we have nothing in common.
That's true, yeah.
This ain't gonna work. Do you know? I just laugh it off because I know it's, at the end of the day, alhamdulillah, like, you know, I'm fortunate that I have parents that I know won't impose anything on me if I don't want it, you know? I get the final decision. I make the choice for myself. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's how it should be. And yeah, I don't think it's something that you should completely shut down because a lot of people have been married through like recommendation and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen much, but it does happen and it can work out. So I'm like, yo, Abdullah, you know, my friend's sister, you know, is blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you guys link up like it happens, yeah? That's how you meet people. So if an uncle's like, obviously, depends how close you are with the uncle. If it's like your dad's brother, then it's a bit mad. But if it's like a family friend, if it's a family friend and the family friend's like, oh, you know, my daughter's round about your age, she's in, I don't know, uni, she's doing this or whatever. Why not, bruv? If you vibe with the person, if the person's, you know, I feel like it's they've done half the job for you. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like there's no romance in that. That's
You
just
don't
my
think so?
personal opinion. Yeah, there's no romance in it. Especially, I feel so sorry for the people.
What is
who don't
romance,
get to
bruv?
choose.
Allow it.
There is such a thing as romance. Come
What
on,
is
man.
romance, man?
There is such a thing as romance.
Listen, you define romance for yourself, right? And this whole traditional, you know, you do the guy does the chasing, you know, come, don't run away, yo, come. That's overrated. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if someone can do the chasing for you and present the food on the platter, that's a bit mad. That metaphor's crazy.
I think that's personal experience. I mean,
Why go out?
personal preference.
Why go out? Kill your own chicken. Are you that guy who takes pride in knowing that you've killed the animal? Like, I killed this animal. Yes, I've done it.
Yeah,
I can now eat.
That's my chicken now.
I don't care who kills the animal.
No, but
You kill
I'm
the animal.
I'm the guy that searches for the species of animal I want.
Oh, you thought that was really slick.
That's worse.
You know what I'm feeling? That was hard.
That's worse than you're digging deep.
That was hard.
But listen, this is the last of this metaphor, yeah? Let's kill this metaphor now. But if somebody else hunts the animal, brings it, prepares it, serves it to me, and I like the food, I'm eating the food. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's we're killing the metaphor now.
Yeah, you have to discard it.
We're moving
Next
on.
You on to the next.
We're moving on.
Next option.
Personal preference. That's it. That's
Yeah,
what
you know, there's no one answer, you know? You find what you like, and that's it, really. I feel like, personally, if someone recommends someone and I'm into them, I'm into them. I don't care how I got to that point.
That's true. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's not important to me. I don't get any pleasure from being the one to, let's blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? It's just a dance.
I mean, yeah.
So, like, you know, nowadays I feel like relationships are very fragile. You know, divorce rates are high. You know what I mean? So, like, what, you know what I mean? So, like, back when you were growing up, like,
Whoa,
what were
divorce rates like?
Because right now, relationships are mad. People moving crazy. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Is it the same?
I don't know about Mohammed, but I've never been married before, innit?
No.
So
No.
I wouldn't.
Wow.
Even in like school, let's say. Well, like just
growing up, what you've seen around you.
Did you keep an eye on relationships or?
I mean, I think. Look, humans are messed up here. Of course. Start there. People do things that they shouldn't do because they know that no one's gonna hold them accountable. There's no repercussions. Yeah. Generally, we'll start with that point, right?
Okay.
So the craziness, the madness that you see, so blatantly, so obviously,
Seagulls.
was happening. It just wasn't blatant and it wasn't obvious. Right? So all this craziness, that you see on the internet, I don't want to get into any specifics, right? That was all happening.
Yeah.
People just didn't, it wasn't known. I wouldn't say advertised, but it just wasn't known. It wasn't, So yeah, and that's where, social media comes in and stuff like that. Everything is, like we were saying, you feel like you're involved in people's lives. So you see my man with the thing that he's been with for 2 weeks and they're couple and, whatever, for life. And that's the perception that you get of their relationship. Oh my God, their relationship must be like this, must be like that. So yeah, it's about what people want you to see, and what you see for yourself. So yeah, so the madnesses were happening.
Yeah,
it just wasn't obvious. Like,
I'd also add on that I don't think that a lot of relationships, the foundation of it is, one of the foundations isn't religion. So a lot of people might, look at one another, maybe be like, oh, this person's attractive, I find you attractive, get together, and there's no there's no substance behind it. And that's why people are getting into relationships, breaking up and jumping on to the next.
I mean, it depends what they're after in the relationship, I think. It depends what they want, what they see out of it. Some people just think of it as a temporary thing, and just don't want to be alone in that emotional stance of being with the opposite gender.
I think you have to have a shared goal, right? And obviously, if you have faith, that is the biggest shared goal. It's like we both are together, we love each other, but at the end of the day, we're here for a finite number of years, and we're working towards, heaven or whatever it may be. And that is a unifier that brings people together. So if you don't have a pillar that you can both agree, this is our core, this is what we work towards, and for most people that is faith, that is religion, then there's nothing to build that relationship off of, besides superficial and very momentary things, like that's why honestly I don't personally believe in falling in love and stuff like that.
Well, being in love and falling in love.
Not being in love, but
you don't believe in love.
What's it? Love at first sight. Whoa, falling in love. That's a bit bad.
I was waiting for the explanation.
But yeah, things like love at first sight, because obviously, so you can be attracted to someone physically at first sight. But do you really love that person for all that they are? You don't know, my man. My God, in this case, right? Do you know what I mean? So, so it's about having those non-negotiables, those pillars, those values that you both stand by, knowing that you love each other, but you're working towards that as well. That's what keeps a relationship going. That's what's going to get you through the dark times. Because a lot of people don't want to stick around when the lights go off. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
They're just there for the spotlight. Oh, look at us. 2 years together, blah,
wedding
blah, blah.
cake.
Do you know what I mean? Anniversary, look at my ring, this and that, and then it just falls apart.
That's true.
But right now, people are saying on social media, things going around saying that the UK is bad vibes.
In what sense?
It's just very toxic. People don't like seeing other people succeed. What do you guys think
I
about
think
that?
that's just I think it's a certain type of group of people who will say that. I think maybe if you're someone who's very flashy and stuff, no one's saying they don't like to see me succeed because I ain't posting my Rollie or my nice car and I forget it.
Where's it at though? Where's it at?
I'm not taking shots at nobody, you get me? But I feel like that is not just in the UK. That'll be anywhere where someone has more than someone else, and that's, what's the word? Is it envy? Towards that person.
Yeah.
So I think envy is just a very human emotion, and generally when there's someone who's succeeding more than other people, they're not always going to get the best reception from it. So
I saw a really good quote about envy. I can't remember the quote, so I don't know why I brought it up, but it's something along the lines of people that are envious of other people aren't content with themselves. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's the definition. Well, that's part of the definition of envy, isn't it? Yeah, it's about knowing who you are. You know, the things that you value. Knowing that, you know, everyone has their time. Everyone has their journey.
Yeah.
And then there is a process. You know, you're not going to all rise together. Hopefully you don't all fall together, but you're not all gonna rise together. And so long as you don't feel that you have to live up to those expectations, then you know it's calm. UK being bad vibes. I haven't been anywhere else, so I can't really say. But yeah, like Abdurrahman said, I think it's very much dependent on the circle that you find yourself in. Certain industries we know are very competitive, and to be a minority has its own sort of problems. But yeah, from what I've seen. Personally, I've seen nothing but great vibes, man.
I feel like people no longer do things just as a favor to other people. There always has to be your own sort of personal gain.
I feel like that's always been a thing,
I wouldn't restrict that
but
to
in
the
like
UK.
in Gambia, let's say, where it's more of a community. You know what I mean?
That's always been a thing. Like, let's be honest. Is there? So this is like a philosophical question. Yeah. Is there any such thing as a selfless act? Do you truly believe that?
Yeah.
There is such a thing as a selfless act.
Charity.
Why do you give
God?
Why do you give charity?
For God and to help other people.
To help you.
Or to help other people. That's the main thing.
Do you think there's a tiny bit of to make yourself feel good about it?
Oh, 100%.
Would you say a smidgen of that? Do you feel good after you give charity? You're like, yeah, I just did that.
Some people are like, you know, I've lost a bit of money now.
But okay, so you say you do it for the sake of God. And what do you want to get from that?
To heaven, yeah,
right?
That's true, yeah.
Okay, so it's transactional. Everything I personally feel like everything that we do is in exchange for something else, whether we consciously do it for that reason or not. There is a sort of exchange going on. Yeah, whether it's helping a friend, like Abdurrahman said, you might do it to feel good about yourself or to feel like you're there for that person. There is always, and that's not to say being selfish is a bad thing, but there's always, you know, there's always some
ulterior
sort of
motive in it.
and it's not a negative thing necessarily. What was your question?
It's the UK. You feel like people don't do things out of the goodness of their heart.
Yeah. So I think people do things. You don't know what people's intentions are when they do things. First and foremost. Question: Do you feel like if I do something good, right, and it's not for the right intentions, does that reduce the good that I've done in your eyes?
Yeah.
What do you mean? As long as I don't know your intentions for doing it, then it doesn't reduce it at all.
That's the thing.
As long as you
and that's it. People don't know your intentions. You know. That's not to say intentions are extremely important. Let me just say that. Well, clarify. Intentions are extremely important. And there are good people in the world. You know, there are good people that do things selflessly. I'll use that word in quotation marks. And it's just about finding those people, you know. And I feel like a lot of the times, if you represent what you want to see in others, those people naturally find themselves into in your life in some way. They gravitate towards you. So if you're selfless, if you're a good person, if you know you're religious and you know you observe the pillars of your religion and you do all the things that you need to do in life, generally speaking, people gravitate towards you that have a similar mindset, you know. So
alright, so final question here. Do you feel as if it's hard to be a Muslim in school or in society in general?
Okay, I think the religion is easy.
I think it's easy to practice.
Okay, I think the religion is easy. The religion is easy. That's the statement that we're going with.
What do you mean by easy?
What do you mean easy?
As in, you know, so we all know the verse where Allah talks about how He doesn't burden a soul with any more than the soul can take. Do you know what I mean? So He wouldn't put anything on your plate that He knows you couldn't handle. And that's how the religion is, you know. There are a set of rules. There's certain things that are clear. There's certain things that are unclear. The things that are unclear, you just assume that they are bad, so you don't do them, you know. So the religion itself, in terms of principle, is super easy, right? What you said, and I like that you brought up to practice, because that's the differentiating factor here. To practice in this society, in this environment, right, in this culture, it has its challenges. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's hard. I wouldn't say it's impossible. It has its challenges. There are many different challenges, you know. And it's about you as an individual navigating those challenges. And we spoke a lot about parenting earlier. Parenting is so important in helping you do that. Yeah, because if your parents shelter you and they don't expose you to any of the challenges, and you live a very you know, narrow sort of life, once their influence is lifted and you're exposed to those challenges, you are gonna buckle, bruv. I've seen so many people buckle. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna do it all, everything. You want to try this flavor, that flavor, everything, right? But if your parents educate you on the religion, and learning about the religion is important, and knowing why you're doing things, knowing why is very, very important, and allow you and give you the space to develop and build a relationship with the religion yourself, as opposed to forcing a relationship with the religion on you, right? Then it ends up being more fruitful for you. So you'll still make your mistakes. Do you know what I mean? There's no avoiding it. But you'll end up appreciating that type of parenting a lot more than you have to do this, you have to do that, with no reason, with no explanation.
All right, so for me, thinking about it now, going off what Mohammed said, society doesn't make it easy to practice Islam, because it's not glamorized, to be honest. What's glamorized is the lifestyle of, you know, YOLO, you know, going and doing as much as you can. Whatever comes to your mind, do it. Freedom.
Live your best life.
Live your best life, exactly. And that's not exactly what Islam teaches, because within Islam we have to live within certain confines, to be honest. Certain things like praying 5 times a day, that is something that we all do as Muslims, and something that's embedded in us. And also, you know, even the Muslims that you'll see in society, like the Muslim women, you know, they bear the flag for us, really, because they go out there and they have the symbol on their heads, which is hijabs. And even in other areas of the world, such as France, I think it was recently, who stopped Muslim women from wearing the hijab, or I think it was the children who are not allowed to wear it from school.
Under 18.
Exactly, under 18. So society's almost trying to push it out completely. So I do feel like it is a challenge, and even when I was going to school, I would struggle to pray 5 times a day maybe. But now that I'm in university and I'm around a lot of, you know, Muslim brothers who have, you know, pushed me to pray at the right time, and are always encouraging me to, you know, do things like attend their sirats, and that's made it a lot easier for me. So I feel like your environment's very important for you know, how easy you find it yourself to practice Islam.
Exactly. And I feel like also it is a journey, it's an individual journey, so we should be very careful about judging people who may not be at the same stage, or we feel like are less practicing, or, you know, whatever it may be, because, you know, obviously Allah has a plan for them as well, and, you know, they'll find their way, you know, if He guides them or whatever. So it's about knowing that it is a journey, and you're gonna have your ups and your downs on that journey, but having faith throughout, that's quite important as well.
I feel like, especially in the UK, it is very hard, because when it just comes to things like you've got a meeting at a certain time and it clashes with Maghrib, you know what I mean? You can't go out to the cinema at 8 because it clashes with Maghrib. You can't go out because you have to pray. And you feel like you judge others, and others also kind of police your religion. So like at school, I've seen people like, oh, I swear you're not meant to be eating that. I swear that's not allowed. And I feel like, you know, as you said, people are on their own journey, and that's why I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be born in a Muslim family, because that's kind of been embedded within me. Whereas other people that are on, you know, their part of the journey have not been blessed with, you know, a Muslim family to grow up in.
Yeah,
exactly. No, I agree 100%. I think it's important to have balance as well. Yeah. So like you were saying, like society is not engineered to be, you know, conducive for Muslims.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You could argue that it's the complete opposite.
It's true.
In the case of France, it's extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. And so yeah, you have to have your non-negotiables. You have to be smart with the way you plan things. You know, there's loads of places you can pray. There's loads of places I've prayed. You'd be like, whoa, that's a bit crazy. You just can't pray in a toilet. Besides that, but yeah, it's about like I said, have your non-negotiables, plan your time wisely, know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it, and make dua as well. Pray, you know, make dua that Allah makes you steadfast, and keeps you on that path. And you'll have nothing to worry about.
Do you guys have any questions for us?
I've been asking you a lot of questions along the way, but let me think.
If not, it's cool. Just out of curiosity.
What challenges have you guys faced as young Muslim guys?
I mean,
TikTok.
I think it's also to do with the social media thing. You know, you're expected to get a certain number of likes, or you know, you're following, or blah blah blah. That leads you not to like posting, or not even. But right now, I've kind of retreated from that. Like, I don't post. I literally don't post. Like, I don't see the need to seek validation. You know what I mean? Like the other day, I was like, because there was this guy on TikTok, and he was rating people's outfits. I'm like, I could send him a fit. I'm like, nah, that's kind of. I'm like, yo, I'm not doing that.
So I agree with most of what you're saying.
When it comes to looks, but I'm with food and stuff and gym. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with most of what you're saying. I think, like I said, with social media, like literally don't deep it too much. The people that have problem with social media deep it too much. That's it. They're thinking about this, they're thinking about that. Don't deep it too much, and it will be fine. You post when you want to post. You post what you want. Okay, let's keep it PG. Within certain constraints, innit? You post what you want to post. Do what you want to do, bruv. Don't get too caught up with this whole, public image and stuff, because then you stop living. If you're loving your fit on the day and you're like, I am looking, damn, I'm looking fine today. Post. There's nothing wrong with it. We say it's, seeking validation from others. Validation, you can choose to take it or not take it.
That's true.
You can choose for it to affect your life and affect how you perceive yourself, or you could choose to completely ignore it. Let it come. If I'm getting likes, I am loving the likes. I'm not going to turn around and go, I think this of myself now, and I think that of myself. Oh, I'm not going to do this because my man said this. But it takes a certain maturity to get to that point, right? And a certain level of self-development. And we're all at different points in that journey. So that's it with social media. It's fine. Do it. Have moderation. Know when to check yourself. If you want to post, you post. But know that it doesn't define you, and you don't have to live for other people. That's it. Sorry to sort of...
Alright, so that's it. Thank you for listening to our special episode with our good guests. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, in a bit.